Hey, welcome back to the fishing report and the guide highlight and all that other stuff. And Cody, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. You've been in this industry a very long time. You've been a staple in the community and everything else. Why don't you tell us all who you are, Cody?
Okay. Well, my name's Cody Roswick. I'm a owner operator of Fin Hunters Guide Service. I've been a full-time fishing guide for the last 8 years in North Dakota, and I spent a lot of time in the Devil's Lake Basin. And yeah, I've been in the fishing industry my whole life. I sold fishing tackle. I worked at Lund Boat Company. Um, Learned a lot, met a lot of great people over the years, and it's been a fun career. I enjoy guiding. I love taking people fishing and putting a smile on their face. We had a great group of 8 today, and everybody left happy. It was four couples, husband and wives, and it's just fun to host a group like that and see them enjoy the great resources that we have here in North Dakota.
I love the fact that Cody, you and I, we've gone a long ways back. And matter of fact, the last couple of years, we kind of haven't dealt enough, or we haven't been around each other or dealt a lot with each other here. Since the tackle industry and everything else, when you kind of went into the guiding full time and everything else. But why did you choose Devil's Lake? You talk about these bigger groups. That's a great point where there's a group of 8 people that are all traveling together. You're able to accommodate bigger groups and stuff. Why don't you tell us a little bit more about that? That's very intriguing.
Yeah. Well, it's I don't always have bigger groups, but we can accommodate bigger groups. I work with a number of other fishing guides, and we all kind of work together and help each other out with these bigger groups. And yeah, this is uh, like for example, this is a group that their family. Um, a few of them are brothers and sisters, and one of them's a cousin, and they bring their spouses with, and they just have a grand time. They go out to dinner every night and um, get together. They look forward to this trip every year. So we've had some great fishing over the years, so keeps them coming back, and they just had a great time on Devil's Lake today.
That's awesome. And to your point, when you have a bigger group or you have multiple boats and, to find extra water and stuff like that, Devil's Lake itself, it's really good on water conditions, right? So the lake levels are up a little bit. The boat landings are all in good shape. Why don't you tell us a
Yes.
little bit more about that?
Yeah. We started out the year with a little higher water conditions than we left last fall, and that was great. That's good for the fish spawning. It's good for the young of the year recruitment, and then we've had some big rains, especially north and west of Devil's Lake this year, and it's given us some additional water into Devil's Lake, and I'd say the lake's probably gone up a foot since early June, that's a tremendous amount of water considering how big the Devil's Lake Basin is. And yeah, so water conditions are good, boat ramps are good. The fish seem to be responding real well. There is probably more shallow fish this year than I've witnessed the last couple of years. And that's due to the rising water conditions.
Mhm.
That'll give them more spawning habitat. It'll give them more places for small fish to hide. No, it's great. It's good for the weed levels, all that kind of stuff in Devil's Lake.
That's I'm glad that you say that because with your water coming up in the shallower waters, that offers and produces a lot better shore fishing as well for those that are not able to get out on their vessels, or if they don't have the means of getting out on the lake. So there's docks and fishing piers and shorelines all over the place. Can these anglers that are coming from out of town, or even the people that are in town, why don't we touch on that? Well, is there any specific thing that they're looking for right now to be able to put themselves onto a decent bite and probably, try to enhance their chances of putting some table fare out?
Yeah, for anybody that's coming to Devil's Lake right now, shore fishing is still a very viable option. Here we are, the end of July. We're in late July, and today we were catching a fair amount of fish in 10 feet of water. So, and there's a lot of deep shorelines around the Devil's Lake area that are 10, 20 feet deep. These fish are very accessible from shore, even though it's late July. There's not a lot of fish out in, that 30-foot range right now, just because we've had a lot of rain and water conditions have come up. We've actually had some cool weather. We've had some real hot weather, but we've had a few cool days too. So, the algae isn't a problem this year. So far, there's some algae bloom out there, but it's a good amount. It's helping our fishing. It's not getting super green, and the water is fairly cool. Water temps today. Yesterday I was seeing 75, 76 in some of the back bays. Today we were 71, 72. I think our high today was like, in the low 70s. So we had a little cooler day, and the water responded to that. Actually, I was a little worried when we got to our fishing spot this morning when I saw 71, 72 degree water temperature. But the first pass, we caught a few fish, and everything fell into place. So, um, but yeah, getting back to conditions, the fish are still fairly shallow, or we're finding plenty of shallow fish that are less than 20 feet, and that's unheard of when you get into mid to late summer like we are right now. So
Right. Do you have a couple of techniques that you'd like to share? I mean, are you trolling bottom vultures, crankbaits, slip bobbers, jerk baits? What do you got going on out there, Cody?
yeah, we're definitely in the bottom bouncer spinner time frame. Um, I do a lot of bottom bouncers and spinners, especially with bigger groups. We had 4 people in the boat today, plus the guide. So bottom bouncers and spinners, a little bit of back trolling in this wind was a great option for today. When the fish are a little lethargic, sometimes I just use a plain hook behind a bottom bouncer. But bouncer and spinner, like a 1 ounce or a 1.5 ounce bottom bouncer, and about a 3 foot leader and a spinner, half a night crawler or a leech. It gets the job done pretty much day in and day out when you get into mid to late summer. Yeah, over here in the Dakotas, that's a tried and true method. We do some jigging. We do some vertical jigging. We do some casting of jigs when the fish are shallow and kind of spooky, but for the most part, it's bottom bouncer and spinner season.
Okay.
I know there's people trolling crankbaits, and you can. The beauty of Devil's Lake is you can catch them kind of any way you want. But putting when it comes to putting fish in the boat consistently, a bottom bouncer and spinner is really hard to beat come midsummer.
And it's easy, that anybody can kind of throw a little bit of
Yeah,
weight down there and have that spinner and be able to do quite well. That's awesome. The other question
yeah,
I have for you, when you're looking at bottom bounce and spinning, all that other stuff, you're talking about the weeds in the shallow water. Are you trying to find the weed edges? Are you trying to find, road edges? Are you trying to find what are you looking for as far as the bottom contour?
yeah. Well, today we were fishing some old shoreline edges, where it kind of transitioned from hard bottom to maybe some softer bottom. But yeah, weed edges, old road beds that are in the lake are all just fish magnets this time of year. Really, the theme of everything is edges, so if there's old shoreline edges, if there's weed edges, if there's some roads that crisscross the lake. Those are all key areas to find fish this time of year, and really hard bottom areas.
Okay.
That's why those gravel roads are such fish magnets, because that hard gravel bottom, there's just something about them. The fish love them. Walleyes love sunken roads. Yeah,
Yeah, that's incredible. Is there anything
yeah,
anything else that you want to share, Cody? I mean, any stories, anything? Come on, man. This is your time to shine. Tell us more about you, your service.
yeah,
How do we get a hold of you? Tell,
yeah.
tell us more, Watts.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, I love getting some publicity, but I'm easy to find. My guide service is named Fin Hunters Guide Service. I have a website. I'm pretty easy to find. Just, Google Cody Roswick or Fin Hunters Guide Service. Um, I got a Facebook page, all that kind of stuff. But on top of that, I would say one of the biggest things that I'll share with you, and I'm excited about, is I'm seeing lots of young of the year perch and white bass that are feeding these walleyes, northerns, and the bigger white bass right now. We ran into some nice schools of perch and young white bass today, so that's good to see. I'm seeing lots of little 8-10 inch walleyes, so that's you know a year or two from now, that'll be the next big crop of fish that are a nice catchable size. Those 14 to 18-inch walleyes. We're so fortunate. The fish grow really fast here in the Dakotas. They got a lot of food with the freshwater shrimp, all the macroinvertebrates, tons of minnows. Yeah, today I was noticing my live well, I had minnows in my live well. I had gobs of shrimp. I had gobs of redworms in some of these fish. We kept some perch today. So the lake's looking really healthy. Obviously, that bodes well for the future. The high water conditions that we have this year, um, it really bodes well for Devil's Lake and all our good walleye fisheries here in the Dakotas. So yeah, that's exciting. That's good to see.
Awesome. And do you also guide during the winter, Cody?
I do. I guide full time, summer, winter, spring, and fall. I take a few people duck hunting every fall, and we usually incorporate a little bit of fishing with it. And yeah, I keep busy year round with the guiding thing. So, and I really enjoy it. So,
I'm
yeah,
glad
if
that
you ever want to check me out, yeah, it's I got some testimonials and things on my face or my website. So yeah, I encourage anybody to give me a call anytime, get a fishing report or talk hunting and fishing. That's what we do out here in the Dakotas.
actually the early season August, the Canadian early season goose is coming up here less than a month away. I believe it's what, August 15th that it opens up.
Yeah, yeah, and there's lots of young geese this year, so it'll be a good goose season. The early goose season is I see more and more activity every year with that.
And the numbers, I mean,
Yeah, I'm usually too busy fishing, but
well, but I mean, like for prime example, for people like myself that are coming from out of town, and your early season goose limits are what, 15 now. So it's one of those where if you're Canadian geese, you go out and have a great hunt in the morning, and then you fish all afternoon while your guys go out and look for the fields and stuff. I mean, what better way is that than have we come in, have a whiskey while you guys are scouting and
yeah,
go do a little captain blast. That's what I'm
yeah.
talking about.
Yeah, yeah. The old cast and blast is live and well. There's a lot of opportunities, and there's going to be a lot of young geese this year, so people should do well. There's going to be the waterfall. I would say overall, we could touch base on that. There's going to be a fair amount of ducks produced in North Dakota this year. We had pretty good water conditions, especially in the Devil's Lake Basin, so there'll be a lot of young birds this year, ducks and geese.
I'm extremely excited about it. I know that I'm planning a couple of trips over, and it just to have a blast doing so. But Cody, how do is I know that we can look you up, but do you have a phone number that we can blast out in front of everybody so they can find you a little bit easier and all that other good stuff?
Yeah, I'll remind everybody. Cody Roswick. It's Fin Hunters Guide Service, and my telephone number is 701-840-5407. And my email is ctroswick75@gmail.com. You're welcome to send me an email or go to the website, and that's finhunters.com.
Awesome. Well, we greatly appreciate your time. I love the fact that you guys are on a good pile of fish. I'm excited about the future, the way that you're talking about the next crop coming up, and bird season is right around the corner. So keep the powder dry, as they say. You know, I'm excited to
Yeah.
bump elbows with you in the field, and we'll go have a good time. So, Cody, greatly appreciate your
You
time.
bet, Pat.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks a lot. Thanks for the opportunity.